What's going on, guys? My name is Kareem and welcome back to the channel. 2023 has been an amazing year for smartphones, and I'm sitting with what I deem to be the two best smartphones of 2023, the iPhone 15 Pro and the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. This is coming from somebody who's always used Samsung, and I've been so pleasantly surprised with just how much power is packed into here. The camera, the battery life, the ecosystem, connectivity, and everything has pretty much blown me away with this iPhone 15 Pro, but that doesn't take away from the love that I've had with the S23 Ultra. The amazing display, the beautiful camera, the design and build is probably one of my favorites. Felt like this was the perfect time to take these two phones head to head and see which comes out as the best phone of 2023. While both of these displays are top notch, I think the Samsung definitely gets a little brighter, but the colors are a lot more saturated, while the iPhone retains natural colors. Doesn't get as bright. Now, personally, if I had to pick the better display between these two phones, I think I'm gonna go with the S23 Ultra. I just love how bright and how vivid the colors are. It just gives a little extra pop, whereas in the iPhone, the colors are extremely accurate and that looks good, but I kind of like that vividness, whereas this kind of just looks dull to me coming from the S23. But when it comes to the displays, I think these are by far some of the best displays that you can get on a phone. I'm just gonna go with the S23 for this one.
Just a quick note on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. While both I think are fine, I did run into some Google Maps issues with Apple CarPlay that I didn't run into with Android Auto. Plus, I love being able to skim through the track while driving.
Now, when it comes to battery life, I can easily say these two phones have produced some of the best battery life that I've ever experienced on a phone. The iPhone 15 Pro has given me about 7 hours of screen on time on the daily, while the S23 Ultra has given me the same. I can literally go to bed every night with my battery percentage at about 20% to 15%. Prior to that, my S22 Ultra would die probably before I got home from work. So these are huge upgrades with battery life. And in terms of these two battling together, I don't really know if I could say there's a definitive answer, because these kind of have blown me away so much from previous competition that I look at these two as some of the best. But if I did have to choose, I would give the slight edge to the iPhone 15 Pro, and that's just in my experience. I've heard some people have not the same experience with the battery life when it comes to this. I rarely ever have to worry about charging my phone because of these two, and if the battery life on the phones coming forward after these are anything like them, I guess I will never have to worry about battery life again.
Alright, now let's talk about my favorite aspect of these phones, the camera.
When it comes to the iPhone 15 Pro Max, you're gonna get 3 cameras right here: a 48 megapixel main wide sensor, a 12 megapixel ultra wide, and a 12 megapixel telephoto, which also has the 5x optical zoom. When it comes to the Samsung S23 Ultra, you're getting 4 different cameras on here: a 108 megapixel sensor, a 12 megapixel ultra wide, a 10 megapixel telephoto sensor with a 3x optical zoom, and a 10 megapixel telephoto sensor with a 10x optical zoom. Personally, I've been really loving both of these phones' cameras.
Alright, currently shooting 4K 30 on the iPhone 15 Pro and the Samsung S23 Ultra. Right off the bat, I love how the iPhone isn't as cropped as the S23. The S23 just looks a little too zoomed in for my liking, but I'm feeling the iPhone, to be honest. I think the greens on the S23 are just a little too sharp. When it comes to my skin, I think that detail is a lot more accurate on the iPhone as well. But I do love the depth of field that the S23 Ultra provides. Yeah, I mean, both are really great, but I would give the slight edge to the iPhone. When I put these two phones head to head, the first thing that I noticed was just how much more color accurate the iPhone was than the Samsung. It looked like the S23 Ultra's photos were just a little washed out, where the iPhone 15 Pro Max was more natural and more accurate to the warmer tone that was present during that time. Especially with the skin tones, I don't understand why the S23 Ultra skin tones just look a lot brighter and a lot whiter. It's starting to become clear to me that the photography at night on the iPhone just looks a lot better, whether I'm taking portraits or just straight up camera. Just looks a lot better than the S23 Ultra. All right, so I got both of these phones at 4K 30 at night, under a little bit of light. I don't know, I think I like the Samsung. The iPhone's making me look a little red.
The lighting looks better on the Samsung in the viewfinder, but let's see what the actual video looks like.
Because I feel like the actual live view of the video, I'm sensing better color from the iPhone.
Okay, let's go against the light. That's where you can see the iPhone really shine, when you go against that light. Moving around, you can see the Samsung S23 Ultra kind of comes in and out of detail, where the iPhone just looks a lot clearer.
I think the 15 Pro Max is by far the best camera that I've used all year. Its versatility, whether it comes to taking pictures or recording video, the colors just seem the most accurate with this phone. It's so easy to get the best shot the first take. When it comes to the S23 Ultra, at times I do feel like this has higher highs, but it takes a lot more effort to get that compared to the iPhone. But I've been using the S23 Ultra's video all year, and there's a bunch of different videos on my YouTube channel that can attest to how good the video quality is. I just like that the iPhone 15 Pro is more consistent, and I can't wait to see what kind of shots and what kind of videos I can make with this phone right here.
So I'm gonna ask my friends here what phone they choose and why they went with that phone.
My name's Fitz, and we're Team iPhone, baby. We're always Team iPhone. I used to actually be a pretty heavy Samsung guy. I used to hate Apple, actually. I think I bought an iPad about 4 years ago. It's just really easy. All the apps are really simple. They work with all of your products. If you have a MacBook, an iPad, an iPhone, it's really easy to send all your files and things back and forth. A lot of people talk about the ecosystem, but if you haven't tried it, then you just gotta find out.
What's up, guys? It's Dez here, and I'm gonna keep it short and sweet with you guys. I'm Team Apple as well. I go for simplicity. Simplicity is the best thing that iPhone offers, in my opinion. Everything's sleek. I love the ecosystem. I do own an iPad as well. Just going back and forth with emails, calls, all my personal daily stuff. It's just seamless, man.
Dimitri here. I am also Team iPhone. Honestly, it's definitely the ecosystem for me. I love the simplicity behind it. I love the fact that all of my Apple products work together. Something that's kind of underrated is the fact that developers tend to make their apps a little bit cleaner on the Apple ecosystem. But yeah, I just think everything works so well together. Honestly, I mean, I could say so much about it, but you know, I don't want to take forever, but definitely Team iPhone.
But yeah, I'm tending to see the same thing, especially the simplicity and the compatibility and ecosystem part. That's probably the main thing that would keep me with iPhone, is just being able to connect with my MacBook and my iPad and sending text messages on my iPhone, going to the living room with my iPad and getting those back on the iPad. Things like that it's just something, if I switched back to my Android, I wouldn't be able to have. It just makes life a lot easier.
So when it comes to the big question of which phone I think is the best of 2023, I think the answer is clear, and that is the iPhone 15 Pro Max. And here's why. It comes down to two main reasons. Starting with the camera. The camera on the iPhone 15 Pro is the best and most consistent camera I've ever used on a phone. The colors are extremely accurate, and with the addition of the 5x optical zoom, I'm able to get perspectives that I can only get with my Android phone in the past. So that is just a game changer. The second biggest thing would have to be the Apple ecosystem, and that's something that you really don't notice until you're fully immersed in it. It's just extremely seamless and super convenient. Because I have an iPad and a MacBook, I've been able to fully dive in. The simplicity, the camera, the ecosystem, all make it hard to not pick the iPhone as the best phone of 2023. Overall, I just think the iPhone is a lot more well-rounded and consistent, and that's why it takes my top pick. But the S24 Ultra is right around the corner, and I can't wait to see how that phone stacks up with this iPhone 15 Pro Max. But until then, my name is Kareem. Thanks for watching.